Good night, VEDA people, or VEDA people, however you're supposed to pronounce this. It is almost 2 a.m., which means it's time for another wonderful blog from your favorite ghost girl. And I think tonight's topic is social stereotypes. I find social stereotypes very interesting. I don't necessarily know that I have one, as I strive to be the happiest, most cheerful serial killer around, sprinkling everyone with viscera and glitter. Is that even a social stereotype? I don't think so. I guess you could classify me as a nerd. I read ridiculous amounts of books. I read everything from fiction and, of course, my beloved thriller horror people to actual books about actual science. The Disappearing Spoon is particularly interesting. I recently acquired a book called Poison, an Illustrated History, which I would show you, except it's currently propping up my laptop. Maybe in another video. I don't know. Sometimes I have been known to classify myself as a 1920s film noir goth. I do wear an obsessive amount of black, but that's because black looks best on me. Now, don't get me wrong. I mean, I enjoy other colors. My wardrobe is also full of gray and light black and white and red. Occasional shades of purple. You know, typical wardrobe, I guess. It's actually really weird to wake up and get dressed because most of the time I spend my days in a uniform. And when it comes to having a day off or actually going out and doing something with somebody, I forget what and how real people dress. So, I don't know. I try to bring as much joy and creep into my daily life and my wardrobe and my makeup as is physically possible for somebody outside the typical societal stereotypes. I have no idea, so I would be super interested in knowing what the rest of you have to say and how one would even go about acquiring a stereotype. I just don't know. People are weird. People are very weird. And I find it very strange that in the 24 some odd years of my life, this whole social stereotyping thing has still been absolutely prevalent. It went from being, the preps and the goth kids to now we've thrown in hipsters, and I don't know. At some point I stopped even knowing or caring about who was classified as what. All I know is that I like what I like, and it happens to be a whole lot of creep and a whole lot of glitter. So, thus concludes this vlog. I look forward to watching your responses and seeing how you guys view yourselves. And that's it. And since it's almost 2 in the morning, we always have to be sort of quiet, so I'll leave you with one final weird thing for all of my apparently fellow weird people.